This is Dakota coming to you from East Texas bass fishing. I was hoping to get a little video in this week of catching some fish, but been a little sick, so I figured since getting about my favorite time to throw a jig, figure I'll show y'all how I set up my jig. So this here is a dirty jigs, and probably ain't the best representation. They're pretty much compact anyways, but what I like to do to trim my jig for whenever I'm putting a trailer on, I like to turn it upside down, and you can see on it there's two different layers. There's one layer that ends up a little higher right in here, and the other one's down lower. So what I like to do, let me show you what it looks like before. So that's what it looks like before. The skirt's all the same length, but if you flip it upside down and you trim it right at the bottom of that second layer, just like that. Now when you flip it back over, you still got the skirt that's the same length, but then the second layer you just trimmed is half that length. So now when you're working this through the water, whenever you stop it, them smaller strands really flare up. So you haven't done nothing to your jig to hurt it or anything. You can also take and trim it a little closer to the hook if you want. I normally don't. And then the weed guard, I always cut my weed guard at a 45-degree angle. Let me get this over here, maybe I can see it. I always cut it straight, even with the hook. So just like that. Now most jigs that come a little bit longer. This one ain't. On the dirty jigs, they're not real long anyways. You don't need. A lot of times I'll forget to trim it, but I like to take it and right even with the hook. And usually I like it to end where the barb is, the tip of the deal about where the barb is. That'll keep you from going too short, and it's not too long. See what happens when they're too long, when you got something that's real long, you can even take one of your jigs and you can see for yourself. When it's real long, you push on it here, it don't take much pressure to get to the hook. But now if you push on it down here, it takes a lot more pressure to get the hook point exposed. That's the same thing when you're fishing it through cover. If you got it real long and a limb rubs on it way up here where it's real long, it's going to expose that point real easy. So I like to just trim it about like that, and you can take and push on it and get it down a little bit closer to the hook point. Just right over the top of the hook point like that. Another real important key feature I like to do whenever I'm fishing it in a lot of when I'm fishing it in brush, it's got a lot of little limbs and stuff like that. If you take that weed guard and you spread it in two strands, so we got it spread in two strands just like that. So you take your weed guard, you take two strands. It's a little hard to get it on the video. Two strands right there. So if you take it right in line with that point and you divide it in half and you bend them out a little bit, not a whole lot, but just bend them out a little bit. Let me do it for you real quick and then I'll show you what it looks like. So if you take and you just pry them out just a little bit. Now you got you a weed guard It's a lot wider. You can see, look at it from the back side of the hook. It's a lot wider, and what that does, when that jig comes up and it tries to come over that limb, we drag it over that limb and it lays over on its side, it keeps that hook point from becoming exposed and hooking onto it. So when it lays over on its side, while you're dragging it over that limb, it just comes right up over the limb. Next thing I do is I take my trailer, and I normally just hold it up there and see about where I want to, see how long I want my trailer, just by holding it next to it. Once I figure out how long I want it, I just mark it with my finger, and I take my scissors and cut it off, or if I'm out on the water, I'll just bite it off. And then I've done that so much I already know how much to do, but you can take it like that and look at your hook and figure out where your point needs to come out of your bait at. But I've already done this so much. I use jigs so often, I already know how far down I need to go. So once you get it, you might not always get it on your first try, but you want it to be straight on there, just like that there. And then now you got you a jig ready to go fishing. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up and share it, and we'll see y'all next time.